Create a portrait from a digital photo. Touch Command-N on your keyboard to open an additional program window. Click Assistance, then Portrait, Portrait into Rectangle. Click and drag a rectangle the size that you would like your portrait to be within the hoop. In the Portrait Assistant, we'll select the file for our picture. We'll use a photograph that's already loaded into our sample folder and change the preview so that we can actually see the pictures as thumbnails. But you could use a digital photograph that you have taken yourself as well. Click Continue. And in Choose Embroidery Type, you have 4 styles of portrait embroidery. Color portrait embroidery, sepia portrait embroidery, which is excellent for the older black and white photographs, and monochrome portrait or monochrome linear specialty type of portrait stitches. We'll create a color portrait embroidery and click Continue. In Rotate and Crop Picture, the crop box selects the image automatically and does not need any adjusting. So we'll click Continue. In Design Size, the size was determined by the rectangle that we drew when we chose the Portrait Assistant. If we wish to override this size and make it larger or smaller, we could, but we'll leave it the way we drew our rectangle and select Continue. You may get a pop-up that tells you that a larger portrait may take a longer time to create the stitches. Simply click OK, and then you'll be in Choose Thread Colors. In Choose Thread Colors, we can choose the threads that we want to stitch with our embroidery, and everything else is ready to go. You can see the preview on the right in the Thread Color Preview, so select Continue. It's generating our embroidery, and depending on the size of the hoop and the density of stitches, it may take a few moments to generate the embroidery. When it's finished, you'll see a preview of your design, along with the stitch information such as height and width, the number of stitches, and the number of thread colors used. Note also you can change the density to make your stitches thicker or thinner, and you can enhance detail, which is good for portraits that do not have a lot of detail in them. We're ready to go, so we'll select Done, and our portrait is loaded into the hoop and ready to stitch. Let's finish this off by adding a frame. So we'll go to the frames in the control panel, and in the frames we'll choose the frame set and Art Deco 1. Select the frame that you prefer, and we're going to change settings to Crop and Combine. This will cut away part of the picture and set the frame in, giving a neat finish to our portrait embroidery. Our portrait is through and ready to save, File and Save, or File and Export in one of many different file types for your personal embroidery machine.